In what has been described as one of the most explosive political exposés in South Africa's recent history, a high-ranking official within the African National Congress, ANC, has released a secretly recorded audio tape allegedly featuring President Cyril Ramaphosa in off-the-record, behind-the-scenes discussions. According to reports, the recording captures sensitive ANC party strategies, covert government negotiations, and high-level political maneuvers that have never before been exposed to the public. The release of such confidential information is unprecedented, offering what many are calling a rare and unfiltered glimpse into the political machinery of the ANC, where loyalty, governance, and the pursuit of power collide in complex and often unseen ways. The revelation has sent shockwaves through political circles, prompting urgent calls for transparency, accountability, and an official investigation into how the recording came to light. Experts warn that the fallout could have lasting repercussions, potentially destabilizing the ANC and undermining public trust in the current administration. Sources close to the situation claim the recording documents private meetings between President Ramaphosa and senior ANC figures, delving into internal politics, personnel appointments, and controversial policy decisions never meant for public ears. Critics argue that if verified, the recording could shatter Ramaphosa's image as a reformist leader committed to transparency and anti-corruption. One particularly troubling segment reportedly details how government resources were divided, allocations that some critics claim favored party loyalists, raising grave ethical questions and accusations of misuse of state power. Other sections allegedly capture discussions of consolidating control within the ANC by marginalizing dissenting voices and tightening the president's influence over key institutions. If true, analysts say, these revelations point to a calculated effort to suppress internal opposition and strengthen the leadership's grip over the party. Political observers note that the scandal exposes the ANC's long-standing internal fractures, tensions that have plagued the organization for decades. Insiders have begun describing the ANC as a party at war with itself, and the political backlash has been immediate. Opposition parties swiftly demanded urgent parliamentary hearings, insisting that the recording be thoroughly examined. Some leaders suggested the contents reveal not only an abuse of public funds but also a disturbing lack of transparency at the highest levels of government. The Democratic Alliance, DA, has already called for an independent commission to investigate the matter, while the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, declared the leak proof that the ANC's rot begins at the top. Within the ANC, reactions have been divided. Senior officials are reportedly scrambling to contain the damage, urging members to stay calm and avoid speculation until the recording's authenticity can be verified. Nevertheless, insiders admit that the leak has deepened existing factional divides. Some members are demanding accountability and a full investigation into the president's conduct, while others defend Ramaphosa, portraying his actions as necessary moves to preserve party unity. At ANC headquarters in Luthuli House, tensions are said to be high, with confusion, blame, and denial spreading rapidly. Loyalists allege that the leak was orchestrated to destabilize the party ahead of the upcoming elections, whereas reformers see it as a long-overdue exposure of corruption and manipulation within the upper ranks. Meanwhile, South Africa's social media landscape has erupted in outrage. Citizens across the nation have reacted with disbelief and anger at what appears to be an unprecedented glimpse into the inner workings of their ruling party. Hashtags such as #RamaphosaLeak and #ANCLeak are trending, with users demanding transparency, justice, and accountability. Many are asking critical questions: who authorized these secret deals? Were they lawful? And what do they reveal about the integrity of the country's leadership? For a nation already grappling with unemployment, inequality, and systemic corruption, the revelations strike a deep and painful chord, further eroding faith in the political elite. Political scientists emphasize that the timing of this leak could not be more consequential. It comes amid growing national frustration over corruption and dwindling public confidence in government institutions. Analysts predict that the recording could dramatically impact future elections, shifting the balance of power both within the ANC and across South Africa's broader political spectrum. For a party already struggling with infighting and declining credibility, this scandal could prove catastrophic, alienating the moderate supporters who once viewed Ramaphosa as a beacon of reform capable of cleansing the corruption of previous administrations. So far, President Ramaphosa has not issued a public statement about the leaked tape. His office has reportedly chosen to withhold comment, though political experts say managing this crisis will be extraordinarily difficult given the incendiary nature of the allegations. Some insiders believe Ramaphosa will portray the leak as a politically motivated attempt to discredit him and weaken his party, while others speculate he may launch a formal inquiry to demonstrate transparency, a move that could, paradoxically, invite even more scrutiny. Either way, the president's response will be crucial in determining whether he can maintain his grip on both the party's leadership and public trust. If the leaked discussions are confirmed as authentic, the consequences could be far-reaching for both the ANC and the South African government. Investigations could lead to disciplinary measures against those implicated in the conversations, while mounting public pressure might force the administration to implement stronger systems of transparency and accountability. The scandal could also energize opposition parties and civil society organizations long advocating for reform and a crackdown on political corruption. Activists are already urging Parliament to summon the president for questioning, warning that failure to act could deepen the public's mistrust of national institutions. Political commentators caution that this may be only the beginning. "We are probably just seeing the tip of the iceberg," one analyst told local media. If the conversations are indeed genuine, they could expose a pattern of internal power struggles and control tactics that might permanently reshape South Africa's political landscape. The coming weeks will be decisive in determining whether the ANC can weather the storm or whether it will trigger a full-blown crisis within the party. Some even predict a leadership challenge as rival factions see an opportunity to weaken Ramaphosa's hold on power. For years, factional battles have plagued the ANC, as competing groups vied for dominance over leadership, policy direction, and access to state resources. Ramaphosa has consistently presented himself as a reformer fighting to eradicate corruption from within his own ranks. However, if the recording proves legitimate, his reputation as a champion of ethical governance could be irreparably damaged. What was once celebrated as a new dawn under his leadership may now mark the beginning of his political decline. As the scandal unfolds, media outlets across the country are providing round-the-clock coverage. Journalists, political commentators, and investigative reporters are dissecting every possible angle, from the motives behind the leak to the potential legal ramifications for those involved. Questions abound over who within the ANC had access to such private recordings and whether internal rivals facilitated the leak to weaken Ramaphosa ahead of crucial elections. Some analysts even suggest the controversy could carry international implications if foreign entities were involved in publicizing the material. Civil society organizations have joined the growing chorus demanding accountability. The South African Council of Churches and Corruption Watch have both called on Parliament to act swiftly to uncover the truth. "The public has the right to know," said one spokesperson. "If individuals in government are using state resources for political gain, the people of South Africa deserve to be informed." This unfolding scandal, unprecedented in its scope and potential impact, could very well redefine South Africa's political landscape and determine the future of its leadership for years to come.